Declan Rice's second special in the game. He managed to get himself his 84 Team of the Week with a +2. Obviously, he was missed out of the Team of the Week feature due to the fact he is an 82 common on the start. Unfortunately, just a couple ratings high from that feature. But he has now got himself an 87 CDM. Very, very nice indeed. So from his 82 to this card, we have had a +9 on his pace, 4 on the defending and physical, 3 on shooting, as well as dribbling, and a lovely 15 increase on the passing. So obviously in terms of this guy, I believe it's his passing that is going to be up to 99. So what happens basically is you get a +5 on the first upgrade and a +1 on everything else, and then you get on the second upgrade the stat that is chosen to a 99, and then everything else goes +1. So a fantastic upgrade for him to come to, and I think most definitely a very, very good card to watch in the future. 2-star, 3-star, coming in at about 86,000 coins at the moment, chilling between 85 and 90 on the Xbox. He is that a little bit cheaper on the PlayStation and PC, coming in at 60k on pretty much both on average. In terms of what we can expect from him then, I feel like he's going to be a relatively okay card. The only thing that I've always had a problem with Rice is they've always made him very static, and that is kind of the big thing with this game, is he's just not nimble enough. So I'm interested to see if he's got an increase or anything. We can see that agility and balance screaming at me in the yellow at 55 and 63, so I'm not holding too much hope. Obviously in terms of chemistry style, we're going to be looking more at the shadow, if anything, gives you the pace and the defending. So unfortunately the agility balance at this moment in time is going to have to wait, but everything else looks pretty good. With the shadow you get 83 acceleration, 87 sprint speed. For a DM I think that's relatively fine. Short pass and long pass is incredible at 99 and 97, which I think may be a little bit of a cop out in terms of him getting that 99 stat, because really that's all we need him for. I'm not too fussed about the free kick accuracy. We're not too fussed about the crossing. Yes, the vision's 91 already, so that's pretty good, and you won't see too much of an increase. And the only thing really you're going to see is curve going up to 99. So I'm not too sure if that is a cop-out of the increase of the stat is not really going to do too much. He's already got a decent amount of strength. 80s I think is pretty good. Good aggression, stamina's up there, and everything else is pretty solid. So for me, I think he is unfortunately going to be one that is tossed aside for now. Maybe in the future he might turn into a little bit of a beast. You never know with the upgrades. That could kind of help him out that bit more, where you could potentially go for something that it gets agility and balance up, something like an engine. In fact, engine gets passing up, doesn't it? So that is literally not the... yeah, that's not the one to go for. So it will be an interesting one to see. Let's go and jump into him and see what Rice can do. Right then, first ball into Rice. Let's have a little feel and see what sort of dribbling we can go for. Yeah, you can... This is the only problem with Rice, and I think that is what's going to really let him down, is... it's just the turning. And I know full well that I'm kind of basing him on dribbling here, but I'm just kind of utilizing as much of the card as possible, kind of telling you what he can and can't do. Interested to see at some point if he could be a CM. Watching Rice in the middle there. He's going to go for Werner again, and White is going to do enough. White into Rice. Rice is looking down the ring. He's looking down the wing. Can we get a bit of a long pass on the go? That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning, and that is where he's going to make his money in terms of the upgrade. That is a beautiful pass right there. Good tackle from Rice. Doesn't necessarily win the possession back, but does stop him from going straight down the middle, and Gomez is going to do the rest for us. Yeah, I think it is a big cop-out with Rice, because I think his passing is absolutely exquisite already. We saw that ball across the pitch. If that's already what he can do now, and maybe, yes, he just gets that little bit extra on the +1s, I really don't think that he's going to be anything spectacular with that upgrade. Like, he may seem a little bit better, but if it is just +1s on everything else and 99 passing, which technically the two stats that count he's already got, I'm not too sure what necessarily we're going to be getting with him. I think the good thing about Rice, in terms of kind of just some positives from him, is the fact that he is, what, 6'1", 6'2", a big CDM, and we're so used to Conte, it's nice to have somebody with a hell of a lot more strength and a bit more presence in the midfield, and that is naturally what he brings. And don't get me wrong, in terms of the England CDM spot, he's really going to put a number there, and that is more what I'm looking for than Prem Team, because we do have Conte's flashback, and obviously you could get gold Conte, who is, unfortunately for Rice, going to be the better player. So it is a kind of a more English squad icon swaps than anything for me. I'm afraid, really. So again, setting himself up, that is a stunning challenge. And the best thing is that passing's going to be wonderful for them counters if you can, as we can see. Is he going to bring the keeper out? Mane's just going to chip him. See you later. Oh, defending. Wow, I didn't really think he was going to get there. Bergwijn. Little spin on the inside. He's going to get the shot, in Courtois with a fantastic save. Oh, love it. His defensive ability, though, I will give it to him. Absolutely stunning. And I'm interested because in real life, he's now added more kind of goals to his game as well. He was more kind of like the big powerhouse centre mid. Maybe he gets some assists, but even now he's starting to really push forward, and I hope that can translate into a kind of further future card for him, because he has become a very, very solid midfielder, and that ball is going to go out of play. But for me, at the minute, I think defensively, absolutely sound. The agility balance is the kind of letdown for him, and obviously that kind of just really puts perspective on his animations. But everything else with him, I think you've got a very, very good card at this rate otherwise. So going into the overall for Rice then, he's coming in at just shy of 90, and like I say, 60 on the PS and PC, or kind of 50 to 60. He's kind of going up and down as we keep refreshing. And like I say, he's always been necessarily the same. He had a massive upgrade from FIFA 18 to 19, getting himself his first team of the season, and unfortunately last year he missed out, but he did manage to get himself a showdown card during the footies, which was fantastic. Obviously that was during the Euros, I believe, so he did manage to get himself a lovely upgrade there. But unfortunately, this card it's a nice card. I just think that is going to have too much of an impact when you've got the likes of Conte already chilling in that position. If you've got for flashback, or you've gone for his generic gold, that is a very, very endgame CDM already, or at least kind of team of the season endgame. Fred, I do like Fred on this game, but I mean, for me, I do think you need just somebody that little bit more. I feel like Fred's kind of more box to box at the moment, but naturally you could kind of do both with him. I think if you really wanted to, you could just use him as a DM, but I like him kind of going up in the pitch, which is just for another day. Other than that, in terms of Prem, Conte is normally your go-to guy. So I suppose in terms of how many people there is, he's obviously better than Ndidi. Fabinho I've heard actually good things about, but I just can't see it right now. Thiago would be more of a box-to-box. Obviously, Bernardo's more of a cam. Rodri, CDM, again, not got the pace. Pogba's box-to-box, and that's really about it. You could argue Gundogan could be put as a box. It could be put as a DM, I suppose, but I don't think it'd necessarily have the same sort of impact. Whereas Rice, for me, I think defensive ability was absolutely solid. Obviously, with the shadow on him, we do get a 92 DM, which is always fantastic. His pace gets the lovely upgrade, and that will go up by 2 or 3 by the end of the card. Obviously, the defending goes up to 93, which we already could see. And I think literally his whole game was absolutely spot on. The passing is absolutely exquisite. Just pinging balls left, right, and centre. But it is just that animations, that agility balance is the kind of lackluster part with him. Unfortunately, I don't think that will change. Even if you kind of added the extra plus 4-5 bonus onto it, I think you're going to need a team of the season bonus of maybe up to at least 80 to 90 agility balance, and then hope that the animations almost correct themselves, or they are better with them sorts of stats. But I think he will be relatively similar, even with them agility balance, because I feel like it's more kind of natural animations from him. Other than that, though, I think the weak foot would be nice with an upgrade. I don't think it's necessarily terrible, but it would be nice. Passing doesn't need to be changed at all. Obviously, pace as we go forward would be nice as an option. Doesn't necessarily need it, especially in the DM role. You can just pass it out. Use his strengths. Don't go against his weaknesses. Just keep passing it, because he's already got 99 and 97 short and long, which I don't think is great in terms of that's what's going to go up. I just think it is a bit weird that they've put the 2 best stats, or the 2 stats that you need, already pretty much maxed out. So that's something interesting to have a look at. And in terms of physicality, felt nice. He's 6'1", so he already has that bigger presence than most players. So I think for me, definitely a solid CDM. Just a few issues that would probably put him lower in the pecking order than what you'd want. In terms of English them, obviously him and Foden coming in as the two better specials compared to any of the others, obviously discounting icons. But in terms of this, you're looking at maybe going for Rice, Foden, and then something like a Mount, or potentially even a Calvin Phillips needs an upgrade. I'd probably be looking at Bellingham, to be honest, depending on how you're doing your free. I think Rice and Foden would be a nice little pairing in a 4-4-2, but I personally play 4-3-2-1, so needing 3 midfielders, preferably 2 box-to-box, and obviously a DM, so it could be Bellingham, Foden, and Rice. Obviously, Rice playing the DM role, and it would be actually quite a solid midfield, to be fair to it. Obviously, he's coming in a bit cheaper than Foden. I think Foden's still a little bit on the pricey side at 350, but again, not necessarily unobtainable. In terms of the overall for Rice, I'd have to give him something around the 7.5. I don't think I could go any higher until them problems are fixed, and whether he can even get to a 10 just purely for the fact that his animations may seem always a little bit stiff and not necessarily as fluent in terms of his agility, even if we did get up to them 90 sort of levels. But we will see definitely as we go further on, because I guarantee this isn't the end we've heard of Rice. That more than likely will come out later on as well. So hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. See you all for the next one. Peace.